Did you know that the British royal family wasn't always known as the House of Windsor? This fact may come as a surprise to many, considering the deep-rooted association the royal family has with the name Windsor today. However, it has not always been so. In fact, the transition from the family's earlier name to the now universally recognized House of Windsor holds a story that is intricately woven within the threads of a critical period in British history. It is a story that unveils the pragmatism of a monarchy that was willing to adapt to changing times and public sentiment. It is a story that reflects the strategic choices of a king who was careful to ensure the survival and relevance of the monarchy. Now, to understand the context, we need to journey back in time to a little over a century ago when the world was caught in the throes of World War I. The early century, a period steeped in political turmoil and warfare, was a defining era for many nations, and the British Empire was no exception. At this time, the British royal family was known by a different name, a name that carried with it a legacy of their German lineage, the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. The House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha was a name of regal dignity, echoing the family's deep-rooted connections with the German nobility. It was a name that, under normal circumstances, would have been held with pride. However, these were not normal times. The First World War had erupted and Britain found itself on opposing sides with Germany. The war had a profound and far-reaching impact, not only on the battlefield but also on the domestic front within Britain. In such a volatile environment, anti-German sentiment was rampant. This growing hostility towards anything German was not confined to the political or military spheres alone. It seeped into the social fabric of British society, touching every aspect of life, including the monarchy. For the monarchy, which was seen as the embodiment of national unity and identity, its Germanic name was increasingly becoming a liability. The monarchy's German link was perceived as an undesirable element, threatening to tarnish its image and standing in the eyes of the public. King George V, the reigning monarch at the time, was acutely aware of the importance of public perception. The king, known for his pragmatism, understood that the royal family's German name could potentially alienate them from their subjects. It was a perilous situation that needed to be addressed swiftly and decisively. And so the king, after much contemplation and consultation with his advisors, took a momentous decision that would forever alter the course of the monarchy's history. In July of 1917, King George V made a historic announcement. The king declared that henceforth, the royal family would no longer carry the German name of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. Instead, would adopt a new name, a name that was quintessentially British, the House of Windsor. The selection of Windsor was not an arbitrary choice. It was chosen after much deliberation and consideration of several other options. The names considered were not just British, but they also lacked any foreign connotations. The decision reflected a clear intent to reposition the monarchy as a symbol of British identity and unity. The change of name to Windsor was not just a superficial modification. It was a strategic move, designed to help the monarchy navigate the turbulent waters of a highly charged political climate. It was a crucial decision that ensured the monarchy's survival, and helped it maintain its relevance amidst an evolving socio-political landscape. The name change to Windsor did more than just helping the monarchy weather the storm of World War I. It laid the groundwork for the monarchy's identity for the rest of the 20th century and beyond. The House of Windsor has since then become a symbol of continuity and stability, a thread that links the past to the present and the future. The name change was more than a mere PR exercise. It was a crucial move that helped the monarchy navigate a treacherous political climate and maintain its relevance. It also laid the foundation for the monarchy's identity in the 20th century and beyond. Fast forward to the present day, the House of Windsor remains a central figure in the tapestry of British identity. The name change, now a century old, appears as if it has been a successful strategy. However, it's important to remember that this shift was not without its fair share of controversy and speculation. It was a decision shrouded in mystery and intrigue, sparking countless discussions and debates among historians and enthusiasts alike. Of these theories suggest that the name change was merely an elaborate way to conceal the royal family's true origins. Other speculations are even more daring, proposing that the name change was a cleverly engineered move to cut ties with certain unsavory aspects of their past. Think about it. The House of Windsor was previously known as the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. That name carried a significant amount of weight and history with it, some of which was not particularly favorable. So, was the transformation an attempt to leave these unfavorable elements behind and usher in a new era for the royal family? Perhaps. But it's also essential to consider that the world was a different place when the name change occurred. The anti-German sentiment was strong, permeating through all strata of society. This was a time of war, a time of great animosity towards Germany, and the royal family was not exempt from this hostility. Their German heritage was a liability, something that could potentially undermine their influence and authority. Changing their name from the House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha to the House of Windsor was a strategic decision, a move aimed at safeguarding the monarchy during this period of intense turmoil. The new name, Windsor, was not merely chosen at random. Instead, it was a deliberate nod to a place of historical significance to the monarchy. Windsor Castle had been the family's home for centuries, a symbol of their power and prestige. It was a name that resonated with the British people, a name that symbolized stability and continuity. By choosing Windsor as their new name, they were paying homage to their roots while simultaneously moving forward. Even today, the name continues to shape the identity of the royal family. Despite the passage of 100 years, the decision to change their name has left a lasting impact. Every royal occasion, every official document, every headline in the papers, they all bear the name of Windsor, a constant reminder that monumental decision a century ago. However, this change has not been without its share of intrigue and speculation. One can't help but wonder what could have been. As we draw the conclusion of this narrative, ponder this. What could have happened if the king hadn't changed the name to Windsor? Would the monarchy have survived the wave of anti-German sentiment? Could a different name have been chosen, thereby altering the course of history? These questions serve as reminders of the significance of a name and the power it holds in shaping perceptions and identities. The tale of the House of Windsor serves as a testament to this power. As we delve deeper into the intriguing narratives surrounding the British monarchy, one can't help but ponder the future. With the changing times, one might wonder if the royal family will consider another name change in the future. There has been speculation about a possible shift to Mountbatten, reflecting Prince Philip's surname. This idea seems plausible considering the family's history of adapting to the changing political landscapes. However, such a change would require careful consideration and strategic planning, given the weighty implications it would carry. But as of now, there are no official plans for a name change. The House of Windsor seems to be here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. The name continues to resonate with the British people, signifying the stability and continuity of the monarchy. While the future remains uncertain, the name Windsor continues to hold strong for the British monarchy. Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain: the story of the House of Windsor is far from over. Stay tuned for what comes next in the fascinating saga of Britain's royal lineage. Did you know that the British royal